How's it going, guys? So I think a lot of people don't really understand that proof of work for some of these smaller coins really is a concern, especially the coins that have just like a little bit of trading volume. And what you'll see is like a lot of these platforms have substantial market cap, but not much in trading volume because the market book is pretty well scant. And liquidity is more feast or famine. Like you'll have some days when it'll be market priced on one exchange lower or higher than the other. And when that's happening, you will get substantial traffic to these other sites. And yeah, the volume will pump up. But we have to consider is that even with top platforms like Ethereum Classic or other ones that do use the proof of work, that you can have situations where the platform is many millions of dollars in market cap and the volume's there and there are people using it, and there still is ample opportunity for it to be taken over. Specifically, if you're using Nicehash, Nicehash is really the most powerful way to control mining hashing power. Yes, mining rig rentals is a good way to go, but I also see that when you can understand that both of them together is hugely powerful. So when these people, and a lot of them do it live stream on YouTube, they say, I'm going to take over a coin. And they go on there and they say, here's me putting, 0.01 Bitcoin. And then I want to slam this pool. And they take over the coin. They roll back transactions. They completely take over the normal hashing speed, by a factor of 10, and they own it. So a coin that was valued at, tens of millions or what have you is completely crippled and brought to its knees. So if you have ownership in ETC or a lot of these platforms, you just have to be wary of that. It still has a good use case. It still has things that you can do with it. Just understand that someone could come back later. I know it's not probable if it's been so many confirmations later, but something could be mixed up. And that's why they require hundreds and hundreds of confirmations for a lot of these platforms when you do send it in. So that's the real problem with some of these smaller coins. Yeah, it may be even the big ones like Ethereum Classic. It's going to just a few $1,000s worth of crypto. So like a Bitcoin can, for a few minutes or a few hours, and that's really all that it takes, get you control of some of these bigger platforms. So in Bitcoin Gold and some of these other ones, forget it, quite a bit less. So you just have to recognize that the people that are doing this too, it's low-level tech competency. It's putting in the stratum, putting in the pool that you want to push it to if you're not going directly, and then you're good to go. For the most part, there's no technical understanding beyond that, beyond what a YouTube video could provide instruction for you to do. So that's just something to keep in mind. I remember I was at a crypto conference in Los Angeles, and they had the ETC guys there. And I asked one of them, I said, what do you think about the website that has the actual dollar breakdown of how much it costs to take down a coin? And, yours is up in terms of the most value to take it down, the most potential value to squeeze out of it. And he's like, that's a concern with proof of work of any stripe. And the reality is that that's not going to happen to the really big ones, SV Cash and the original Bitcoin. But for ones that are more susceptible, yeah, it could happen. And I guess it would be a good value play for a short or, a long or something, because if it goes really down, then it's going to go down fast. And I guess the bankruptcy fund would have to cover the losses if you have a short on it and you're paired, with someone else. Like if it goes in half in a few minutes because it's been dumped on by one of these exchanges, you will absolutely lose whatever collateral you put in there, because a lot of these, for the altcoins, they'll even go 20x, 50x. So something to keep in mind. And I know that FTX provides coverage, and there's some other coverage outlets where you can go short a lot of these cryptos. So imagine the situation where you have substantial 50 to 1 coverage on a coin that can be taken down and reversed, and you can orchestrate a proof of work attack. The potential, even if you have limited means of getting like a 50x or astronomical, and if you're doing so without pips up and down, then it's going to be, that much more profitable for you. I know in traditional finance, they have hedge fund managers that will actually put out bad press releases about companies that they're shorting. So I guess it's kind of legally in the gray area, but if you can do it in crypto, which is still wild west of finance, then there's a lot of moves to be made there. So that's interesting and also worthy to be considered. So be wary if your proof of coin that you like is only operating with a little bit of hashing power, that someone has that hashing power and knows how to use it.